team, and we would do like our flying tens, right? And we look at flying tens. We usually do it on like the freshest day. So like, say we played a weekend series, we'd have that day off, and we do like flying tens, right? And I would use that as like, that's the numbers. Wow, ran a good time. But I would hear their feet on the indoor on that track, because you could hear it. Those feet would slap if they were heavy. And you're like, yeah, it's like, whap, whap, whap. Like, whoa, that's a heavier sound per capita for the team. We need to back something off. So then in their programming, like, listen, the percentage was this today for this lift. We're going to cut it to this. I want you to link things or whatever it is. So if they were moving real well, like, we're going to stick to that plan and go from there. But the hard part is like, are we taking in enough information? Like, I need to shift, right? We need to shift the program, because if I just stick on this right now, the next series that's coming up, they're going to be so heavy and so tired that we're not going to get good performance on the field. So I think having that adjustability is crucial. Like, I'm about to do a post about this, but a lot of people tend to coach the program versus coach the athlete, right? I wrote this program for this month. This is it. I'm coaching this. No, you're doing that lift wrong. The program says this. No. You're coaching the human. The human or the athlete in front of you, you need to coach them. We have to understand that. And so I think what happens is we get stuck in like, we're going to coach the program because we're comfortable with that. We wrote the program. We want them to like the art that we created in this program, when really they're the critics. They get to say whether it was a good program or good artwork or whatever it is. We have to be like, hey, if an athlete's like, oh, that lift or that exercise, I hated it. What'd you hate about it? It was hard. Okay, that's different than if they're like, it hurt here, here, and here. Okay, well, I need to change that up, whatever it is. So I think being able to switch and pivot, that also takes the secureness within yourself to be like, okay, we can change this, which is hard, because we want to have, I'm defending this program that I wrote. Dude, it's just paper or an app, or it's a Team Builder. It's in Team Builder. I can edit that real quick with a couple clicks,
Shout out to Team Builder, one of the big sponsors of the podcast.
Yeah, buddy.
So on those 2 points, I've got 2 points on that. And again, we kind of spoke about this in the lobby, and we were talking about stress is stress. Like, it doesn't matter whether it's physical or emotional, internal, whatever you want to bridge it. Like, stress is stress. So when you've got, say, collegiate athletes or high school athletes, like, at some point, the educational system is going to throw out tests, exams. So, like, stress for them is going to be through the roof. But hey, we're planning a fucking super heavy week that week. Guess what? They're probably not turning up. And if they are, you're not getting the results that you want.
Right.
So it's like, it's kind of being aware of what is happening, but at the same time being able to adapt your program. And like, I think for a while I used to ask coaches, like, what's a hill you're dying on in this industry? But then I started thinking about that question. And it's like, why are we dying on hills? What's important about, like, dying on this hill? I've had hills that I would die on, like deadlifting was one of them. Now I'm looking at that deadlift, I'm like, is it needed all the time? What are they getting from it? Like, can I achieve it somewhere else? Can I, like, are dumbbells less effective? Depends.
Yeah, it
But not
depends,
really.
right? It's just,
Like,
I mean, I love that. I think it's a good question, though. You know what I'm saying? I think
so,
it is
like,
a question, because it's the
it led me
context.
down exactly. So that's exactly what it leads to. It's the context, and I had Thomas Newman on, who's phenomenal, like, brilliant mind as well, and he does a lot with baseball. And like, he had this great story of why context is important. So like, the story essentially was, there was a football game or a lacrosse game. It was one of them. All the players had GPS trackers on it. One of the players hit like an all-time speed. I think he went like 21 miles an hour or something, like like a really decent speed. So the sports scientist got like absolutely like over his like mind. He was excited. He went to speak with him. Hey, did you see he ran 21 miles an hour? Did this amazing thing, and turns out the 20 miles an hour was the gator. Took him off the field.
Oh, snap. That took me a while to connect. Oh, snap.
So like, the context, yes, it's an amazing speed, but what was the context behind that speed?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
that's
crucial,
an extreme.
right?
That's an extreme case, but like, it does happen.
Like, like let's just say for I guess a general thing, if I'm like, oh man, this person's flying 10's getting really, really good, it's getting really, really good, then all of a sudden it's like that's not their issue on field. Their issue is their ability to cut, change direction quickly. How quickly can they get up to speed? But we're not building up the speed for them to track the top end speed, right? Like the test is it's context. So if we say like die on a hill, when that question's answered or asked, what hill are you going to die on? It's like hinge, and we're going to squat low, versus like I'm going to meet the athlete. The hill I'm going to die on is I'm going to meet an athlete where they are that day every single day, which means I'm going to put myself aside and make sure that the hill I'm going to die on is for me to serve these athletes. I'm going to make sure that I'm fed before I go to feed. Whatever it is, kind of like on a plane, like they say, like with our kids, you have kids on the plane. Once the masks come down, get you, then get your kids. Like there's different hills to die on, but it comes down to context or how they're viewing things. Because we think like the hill I'm going to die on is we're going to trap our deadlift no matter what. It's like, wait a second. To me, early in my career, I would have said something like that.
I would say that in mine too.
You know what I mean? What I'm saying? Like, oh, trap our deadlift. Like, why did I like that so much? I like to deadlift. I like to, and it helped me a lot. So I'm like, well, it's going to help everybody. That's not the case. I got some kids. They can't even, like, we won't even do a concentric. Like, I'm going to help pick up the trap bar. Like, I'm there. I'm like, ready? Let's lift. I'm just the front or whatever is on the sides. Okay, cool. I want you to do an eccentric. And then this. We want to do an eccentric to teach them how to absorb force so they can actually do the deadlift from a concentric basis. But then do I need to work that hard to do that? I don't know, but if they might need it, and I think they might need it, then we'll work on it. So, like, I'm not really on any hill. I feel like I'm almost like jumping between hills. Like, how are all these hills connected? Like they're all connected. And how do I? Actually, that's the important thing.
This is actually just came into my head. That there's always a valley at the bottom of a hill.
Yes.
It's like, where's the valleys? That's a new one.
No, really, makes sense.
Marking
it. Think about it, right? You talked about a pendulum, right? Pendulum. Yeah, I mean, if you look at the fashion industry, like I think the word that I've heard is cyclical, right? Like everything comes back around. Well, if we're doing the pendulum, it's always going to come back around. So if I can see the extremes of these two ends, how do I live in the middle and like, oh, actually I need to be here today, or I need to be here. Oh, wow, this person needs me up here. Like, how do we meet those things? Oh, this person needs a little more soft skills versus, and that can be in one team, like one group or group in here, whatever it is. Like, oh, this person needs me to like use the soft skills more to encourage them versus this person, their soft skills, they're solidified at what they need. They're like, their form is off and they need this. So how do we meet each of the athletes where they're at? The hardest part's figuring them out, right?
100%.
Like, it took me about a month and a half for that collegiate team for them to like allow me in. I had to earn that, right? There was one girl I'll never forget. Like once she started poking fun of me, like a little sister or something like that, I'm like, okay, we're cool. You know what I'm saying? Then there's some that are like, whoa, this guy's in this role, and okay, we got to respect him. And then over time, like, oh, actually, I really do respect him, right? Or I disagree. The one girl was like, she disagreed with me on something. I'm like, I love that, and that shook her. She's like, well, I don't want to do this because blah blah. Like, I disagree with like this lift. I'm like, I love that. And she was like, what? I'm like, I love that you're speaking your mind. You need to speak your mind. And then she was like, whoa. But then what happened right there in that moment? She now knew that she could be completely flat out honest with me, and I'm not going to get defensive. A lot of us tend to get defensive. And that probably goes back to why I would argue with myself and my ideas. I want to hammer it down because this idea is not me. It's not my identity, right? So I think that's a big one too.